saying all the things that I know you like, making good conversation. There's nothing left to talk about unless it's spirituality. I'm saying all the things that I know you like, making good conversation. I gotta handle you just right. You know what I mean. I took you to a spiritual gathering, then a really good movie. There's nothing left to talk about unless it's spirituality. Let's get spiritual, spiritual. I wanna get spiritual. Let's get into spiritual. Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk. Let me hear your body talk. Let's get spiritual, spiritual. I wanna get spiritual. Let's get into spiritual. Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk. Let me hear your body talk. I've been patient, I've been good, trying to keep my hands on the table. It's getting hard, this holding back. You know what I mean. I'm sure you'll understand my point of view. We know each other mentally. You ought to know that you're bringing out the spirit within me. Let's get spiritual, spiritual. I wanna get spiritual. Let's get into spiritual. Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk. Let me hear your body talk. Let's get spiritual, spiritual. I wanna get spiritual. Let's get into spiritual. Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk. Let me hear your body talk. And let's get spiritual, spiritual. I wanna get spiritual. Let's get into spiritual. Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk. Let me hear your body talk.
Thank you so much, Miguel. So, fun fact, the way this song even ended up coming about is Miguel was warming up with it last week, and everybody was singing along, so I was like, this needs to be our opening song next week, especially since body is a spiritual principle that we're leaning into for the month of May, and he was like, well, maybe the lyrics may not be great. Let's see if we can switch it up. And spiritual and physical have the same amount of syllables. It was just this nice, easy switch out. At the leadership retreat that we had earlier this year, Reverend Dr. Donnell Cole, who is doing these Uncuffed Contemplation, mentioned how we should do some pop songs and really play with them, change up the lyrics to make them fit our needs. And so that was Spirit fully in expression, saying, we need to bring Olivia Newton-John to Spirit Uncuffed, and I'm grateful for each one of you for showing up and jamming along with us. My name is Reverend Casey Taylor. I am the senior minister here. I use they, them pronouns, and let me give y'all a little overview of what to expect over the course of the next hour. This is our session flow right up here. We had a sound bath. Danny Romero is here for the first time and did an exceptional sound bath, and I'm excited that he has showed up for this community and excited for the possibility to have him do some more of them for us in the future. Then, as you know, we did our version of physical with Miguel Houston. Next, we are going to speak our vision and mission together, and I always say, if any part of it doesn't resonate with you, feel free not to speak it and let us know how you feel about it after the fact. Then we add a slide that has a list of the 39 tribes. It is our way of honoring the indigenous people currently residing in Oklahoma. So we'll do a little meditation contemplation on the 39 tribes. Then Reverend Dr. Donnell Cole, as I mentioned, will do that 5-minute uncuffed contemplation. Miguel's going to sing Let Go of the Shore, and we'll be invited to sing along with all the things. The words will be up here. Then I'm going to speak on our theme. We're going to sing a Ricky Byers song together, Pour Yourself in Me, do a little conscious giving, announcements, and close out with a peace song, which we've been doing in a circle. So we'll see if we keep that vibe going on today, too. Man. I'm glad you think so. It's been really fun. All right. So this is the vision and mission that I mentioned, that you are welcome to speak along with me if it resonates. We are a loving, inclusive community, joyfully expressing spirit. We honor, celebrate, and support each individual's awakening to their spiritual sovereignty. We empower each other to create happy, healthy, abundant lives. So as this is up, we're going to have a moment of silence, and Dr. Donnell Cole will come up when he's ready.
All right, how y'all feeling?
Good.
I used to have a chair up here. So I'm going to give y'all the excerpt from Love School, because the book that I had is like the older book. I don't have it with me, so I'm just going to tell y'all what happened, and I'm going to correlate this to divine doubt, if that's cool. Mm-hmm. Cool. So there's a part where there's a character named Professor Oversoul, and she's talking to the students about this idea of inner child healing. And there's this character named Andrea Muti. Is that right, how you say her name? I don't want to mess it up. But in the students, they're given this inner child healing exercise they have to do. And there's a kid or a man named Nas who's a PK. He's a pastor's kid. And he's been growing up with this idea of being everything his dad and his mom wanted him to be. But he wants to be a photographer. He doesn't want to lead the ministry. And he has this problem with just wanting to honor them. So behind the scenes, he's in this marriage that he doesn't really want to be in. He does photography, but it's not what his pastor dad wants him to do. Well, he goes to this pride event, and he sees Aunt Andrea there, and they don't see each other, but they're both there. One is there just enjoying ministry, just to support, and Andrea is part of the product community. And they both come into class one day. Professor Oversoul says you have to do this inner child healing exercise. When Nas comes in, he's like, man, I feel really troubled because I'm having this doubt, because I'm coming to this realization I don't want to be what my dad wants me to be. And Andrea's like, oh, what's wrong? But your God is not here to tell you how to live your life anymore, and you don't know how to make directions. He's like, no way. And so she's dealing with this doubt as in, oh, society says I got to be this way because of your God's religion and your dad's religion and what they say. And she's contending with this idea of this problem within her from the narrative she's created from a story that society has given her, but she's blaming Nas. And she's taking that on Nas. And Nas is like, what's going on? And she's like, well, you was at the pride parade. Your God should be able to order you around like he usually do, but now you're dealing with this shame and guilt because of identity? Oh, so bad for you. And Professor Oversoul has to step in and say, hey, let's talk about this. Did you do the assignment? Nas says, yes. What came up for you? He said, I realized that I've been taking on the image of what my dad has told me. So I've been performing my whole life. And she says, well, Andrea, what came up for you? She said, oh, hypocrite, judgment, shame. Oh, his God ain't here for him right now? Where was all that pride at the parade? And Nas is sitting there like, what? I wasn't even at the parade. I was just chilling with my friends and the parade was going. And so as I think about divine doubt, I think about this idea of who gave you the story. How is the story playing out in your life? And how does it cause you to view other people who may not even be a part of the construct that you unconsciously internalized is who you are. Because when you see the disharmony, there's a part where Professor Oversoul says, what is this disharmony? I want you to sit with it. Because instead of you blaming him, it's really a reflection of what's taking place in your consciousness, but you can't see it because you're too wound on what doubt has you imprisoned in. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So we're going to take this into a prayer as we think about divine doubt, not as a form of restrictiveness, but as a form of an introduction into the role you should play in the world, an introduction into the way the systems has held us in a certain way, and the opportunity to view contrast as a curriculum where we can say, I may not like this, but this does give me an opportunity to involve something that serves a purpose. And what is my place of doing this? We acknowledge that there is one life, there is one God, there's one vision, and we are honored to be a part of that one vision. As we see doubt as the opportunity to explore beyond that, I thought about the stories and how they could be frustrating, and how, who were we before the stories? It was the opportunity for us to come here and cast play in this grand cosmic movie, to explore all the aspects of who God is, to explore and know the magnificence of all this universe and all these variations, to explore how we can evolve because of the power and the magnitude of who God is and how God shows up through us throughout this day. We thank you for the opportunity to not only be a blessing to others, but to expand what's possible. Because without doubt, we would not be able to evolve into what is possible and what the world is need in today's age and forevermore. And release this prayer into the field that only knows yes, and we affirm it in a way that seems fit for you. Here we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Oh. It's like, you get a mic, you get, okay. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it did. Thank
Is it
you.
5 minutes?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
sure
cool.
something like that.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. No need to make a plan, your heart will be your compass. Lift yourselves in faith and trust that you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery.
Thank you, Miguel.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
give it up for Miguel.
Yeah.
All right, so our theme, doubt as devotion, questioning as an act of love. We have been
I said, but something better not blow up.
That way. Try again. This is me. Try again.
Check.
Yes, that
Okay,
works.
yep.
All right. So yeah, the last week the tech equipment did this too, where as we're talking about doubt, it's like, let me do something weird. and what I said about it last week is that consciousness is powerful. That as we are diving into the doubt energy, the speaker likes to be like, all right, let me move and flow. And it's so funny how tech aligns with our energy. And people talk a lot about the concept of Mercury in retrograde and how tech stops working, but like how much is that we believe that it won't work, so then it doesn't. Who knows? But obviously, if you don't know, now you know, that what we teach here is that the physical form, the effects of the universe, the physical effects of the universe are directed by cause. There is a cause, and some of that might be belief, and some of it may be having a low quality speaker, because that's what we say. We stretch a dollar, we got to do what it does, and so we didn't buy the $1,000 speaker, we bought the $200 one, and you get what you pay for. So what we've been doing in correspondence, there's a Global Themes Committee. The Centers for Spiritual Living has a committee that Reverend Lynn and I have served on in previous years that identifies what the monthly and weekly themes will be. And our community, United Life, is honoring its 71st anniversary this year, 71 years old. And historically, we have, the global themes are probably only like 10-ish years old. But this community has been honoring those themes each week around this. I don't know what happened when it started, but we've consistently been leaning into the themes. And since I've been serving as the senior minister here, we just noted this is the 1-year anniversary of my installation dates.
Let's go!
Literally May 31st of 25.
Wow.
That in the year since I've been here, there's been a lot of feedback that I've received from the community about wanting to lean more into science of mind principles. So the way that I am doing that is I am moving through each chapter of the Science of Mind textbook and finding a way to link it into the theme. And as I'm in chapter 5, chapter 5 spiritual theme is about body. It's about the physical universe. And with our weekly theme being doubt is devotion, questioning as an act of love, the questioning as an act of love part is what I have really leaned into from the content from the Science of Mind textbook from chapter 5. And what I've enjoyed about reading this book all the way through without it being someone else giving me homework, just sitting down and reading and finding a way to connect it with our weekly theme, for chapter 5 specifically, I should say for this week specifically, I've really leaned into the kind of what America would call the woo-woo parts. That I think the Centers for Spiritual Living as a whole doesn't really focus on, because woo-woo is kind of this concept of like being really out there. So it's like Ernest Holmes said these things, but maybe we don't lean into them very often. And I felt like questioning as an act of love, this was a good week to lean into those woo-woo themes that came up in chapter 5. So the concept of questioning as love is this recognition that any spiritual community across wherever, that each person is really invited to identify whether these spiritual traditions and whether these spiritual themes resonate with them. One of the reasons that we were clear to change our vision and mission statement to honoring each other's spiritual sovereignty was there was this recognition that each one of us has inner wisdom within us that lets us know whether these themes resonate or whether they don't. Just because Ernest Holmes said them doesn't make them true. Just because Jesus Christ said them doesn't make them true. Just because the Buddha said them doesn't make it true. That we have an opportunity to operate from our own spiritual sovereignty, to identify what does and what doesn't resonate. And what questioning as an act of love means is that we are empowering one another, not just to have happy, healthy, abundant lives, but to also recognize our spiritual sovereignty in that we aren't telling somebody, this is the gospel truth. You don't need to question it. Anybody who believes something other than we think is wrong. I think that, and this is me speaking for me individually as Rev. Casey Taylor, that an act of love is operating from that question, is not standing in this, your spiritual authority, meaning that what is right for me and true for me is right and true for everyone else who has ever been, who has ever lived, and who ever will live. And many spiritual traditions operate from that way of, this is the gospel truth. It is the unchangeable gospel truth. Anyone who believes differently is wrong. That's not what we do here. We operate with questioning as an act of love. And if you come into this room, come in online, check us out online, and say, my beliefs are the gospel truth and everyone else is wrong, you are still welcome here. We don't say, well, what we do is question as an act of love, so you need to find your way to the door. You get to pray with us, you get to have that belief, and whether you want to question as an act of love or stand in what feels like spiritual truth for you, you do you. That's what we're about. So let's get into some of those woo-woo themes that I talked about that are in chapter 5. One of the first things that popped out at me, I pushed this button. Okay, I was like, I pushed it so many times, it's probably going to skip to 100, but it won't because I had it off. All right, so starting with body. Body is, Ernest Holmes describes body as the entire manifestation of spirit on all planes. So spirit is the changeless energy of the universe. And body is the physical manifestation of spirit. So that's what we teach here. That's what we're about. And so he said, in my Father's house, this is the quote from the Bible that Jesus said, in my Father's house are many mansions. Then Ernest Holmes says about this, we do not, of course, see all these mansions. Science has revealed to us that many exist which we do not see, and revelation has shown that the universe is infinite. So at the time that Ernest Holmes wrote this, the concept of the multiverse was not part of cultural lexicon. This book was written in 1926, I believe. We were just talking about what year it was. This one was written in 1926, or 100 years ago today. And the word multiverse was probably not in the dictionary in 1926. So for Ernest Holmes to say that Jesus' quote about there being many mansions, and to interpret this to mean that we operate within a multiverse, that there are many planes of actions going on. And he says, science, this is what I love about what we teach, is that it's rooted in science. That Ernest Holmes looked at not just Christianity, but looked at a variety of spiritual traditions and applied what he knew about science at that time to really prove that these spiritual traditions, there are spiritual themes that are the undercurrents of all spiritual traditions, and they align with the physical mechanics of the universe. More specifically, as we're talking about spirit being the energy of the universe, I love that as spirit as a synonym for energy. That the kind of people who don't believe that God exists at all are never going to say that energy doesn't exist. We know definitively that energy does exist. we also know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So if we define define spirit itself as the energy of the universe and identify the body as the manifestation, the physical manifestation of spirit, that the kind of person who defines God differently, that kind of definition might resonate with them in some kind of way. So I really like the inclusivity piece of it. But to really dig into the science and dig into the spirituality of what Jesus was saying about, in my Father's house there are many mansions, and come to the conclusion that we operate in the multiverse and that this plane of action is just one of many, I just thought was really cool. So questioning as an act of love. Do we live? Is this part of the multiverse? Is the Avengers Avatar, it's the Avengers Endgame thing about the multiverse. Like, I really love the Marvel movies, and they really dive into it. Like Doctor Strange, that's his whole thing, is bending time and visiting multiverses. And that's rooted in science. The Avengers franchise was written utilizing what we know about science. And so I think it's pretty cool that in 1926, Ernest Holmes was like, the science of mind teaches the multiverse. He also said, chapter 5, since spirit must be manifest in order to be conscious, there must be a way in which it manifests, and there must be a manifestation. So this concept is about how manifestation works. And this is one of the many reasons why Ernest Holmes is not my favorite writer. Because in one sentence, he used the word manifest 3 times. Like, there's another word you could have used to swap one of these out, where I don't have to think so hard about what's being said here. But writing is not his forte. He was just like, I did the work, I did the research, I'm just writing it down. So, spirit must be manifest in order to be conscious. This idea, as I talked about, the energy of being all there is in the universe, that it's got to express itself physically as something for it to be conscious. And there has to be a way, and the way we call the law is the way, this is the way, in the Mandalorian reference, in which it manifests. So spirit has to manifest through some kind of way, and the law is what we teach is how it happens, and there must be a manifestation, that it has to actually happen. So spirit has to, for it to be conscious, it's got to manifest. And there needs to be a way for it to manifest, for it to be conscious, and it has to actually happen. So this concept of the multiverse could be the physical manifestation of spirit in a variety of plane of actions. And this is the way. And this is the philosophy. This is the underlying idea behind the philosophy of science of mind. He said, perhaps the human body, and I love that he says perhaps, that again, we're not saying this is the gospel truth and everybody is wrong. He's like, maybe the human body is an exact counterpart of an invisible body, which is non-material as we now understand matter and form. So this idea, and I love I'm saying idea, belief, is that the human body is a counterpart, is an example of how spirit works. And I love this concept of when we recognize that energy is literally all there is, and again, that it cannot be transferred, or it is only transferred, cannot be created or destroyed, then therefore, literally everything is holy. Literally everyone is holy, especially people who we disagree with. And as Donnell mentioned in his book, Love School, I wanted to finish it this morning, but as I was reading it this morning, these themes were popping out at me about our theme for June next month is Higher, Deeper Love. And I was like, this is feeling very much like so next week, we're going to have a whole lot of Love School quotes. And I'm going to dive into it, because I was on this whole section around Love School where they're asking some big questions about love as a mirror and relationships as a mirror, that I was like, I got to get into that next week. Yeah. So as I was reading it, I was thinking about that that concept of how literally all of life is spiritual, and that we are all tied by our lives, the people in our lives being a invitation for us to grow, for us to evolve. And we can stick in the same patterns, attract the same kind of patterns, or we can recognize the people in our lives being a mirror, people who disagree with us as being a mirror. So Ernest Holmes also said, all bodies are made of the same stuff. This one stuff is inanimate and infinite stuff, and is equally distributed in the universe, much like the idea of the ether of space. And it is the nature of this stuff to take form. So again, this is how it works, is that because energy is all there is, obviously we're made up the same stuff that everything else is. One of it is inanimate. Obviously we are animate. And it's infinite. It's equally distributed in the universe. There's no part of it where there's no energy over here. The energy is available in all places, in all times, in all moments. And he says, like the modern idea of the ether of space, I don't know, maybe that's still a modern idea. It's not. Okay, all right, yeah, because 1926, that was what was modern. And it is the nature of energy itself to take form. And as we said yesterday, or as we said last week, physical nature of the universe, body is always changing, but spirit itself, energy itself never changes. Atoms are atoms. Atom's going to stay atomine. That's how it is. If the formless did not take form, spirit would never arrive at self-realization. So what that means for us to be holy beings, for us to be made of the same stuff that spirit itself is made of, same stuff as everything else, our conscious awareness of who we are allows for spirit itself to experience self-realization. How many of us walk through the world, walk through our day, thinking about our existence as my life allows spirit to experience self-realization?
Come on.
I know I don't. I know when I woke up this morning, I wasn't thinking, ooh, look, spirit gets to think of it, be creative, because I'm out here doing my thing. I was just chilling. Like, I wasn't even staying present. That's been my whole habit. I have been historically someone who is living in the past, beating myself up over things that I used to do, worrying about the future. And so for me, Science of Mind were the principles that I use to stay present, to not worry about that thing over here, to not shame myself about what happened yesterday. And in that experience of presence, I rarely think about how spirit gets to experience self-actualization, because I am alive doing my thing. So I want to give each of you a word of reverence, give you my reverence for having shown up today, for choosing to participate in spiritual community, whether in person or online. And remember that I threw this out because this concept of the creator is greater than his creation. I wanted to note that this is Ernest Holmes' words and Ernest Holmes' perception, because it's been a question that's come up here, is, as we're talking about the energy of life, is there an actual creator? Is God experiencing self-actualization as each one of us individually? Is there a creator behind all of it? Ernest Holmes believed that there is a creator, and that creator is greater than Ernest Holmes gave he, him pronouns to his understanding of the creator, greater than the creation of the universe itself. This is Ernest Holmes' belief. And I'm noting that because I don't think I do. And I'm not saying I'm right that I do, that there is no conscious being that is greater than the creation of the universe. Just because I think that, and just because Ernest Holmes thinks this, doesn't make either one of us more right or wrong. But what I love is that the Centers for Spiritual Living is not about to kick me out. for not believing this or not standing this and standing behind this. And I know that there are some people maybe in this room that believe in this concept of the Creator. And I'm not going to argue. I don't have any scientific proof to believe that my way of thinking is the right way of thinking. It's just my understanding of spirit, and it may very well be wrong, and I'm okay with that. And if somebody else believes something different than me and they are extra right, props. Congratulations, you got the right answer. You win the spiritual lottery. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just out here doing the best that I can, living my best life. That's all I got. So each week I've been doing, we'll see how long we keep doing this. We've been using the Explore and Reflect section that the Global Themes team provides around the week. And last Wednesday, whenever we sent out the weekly email, we included the reflection question. So my intention is that every time we bring up the reflection question up in here on a Sunday, it's going to go to an email to you. So if you don't remember this, if you don't take a picture of it, if you sign up for our email list right over there in our guest book, you'll get an email with a reminder in the middle of the week about what Explore and Reflect opportunity was. Last week it was something about what is mine to do. Actually, I'll get to that part later. Let's start with this. Explore and Reflect. So you are invited online, in person, however and wherever you are seeing this, to take some time this week to look at your journals, look at your notes, and other things you might have written down over the course of the last few months. Where are your faiths settling with you? Your certainties, your doubts. How is fulfillment showing up in your faith? That is an invitation that you have over the course of this week, if it so resonates. And then mine to do. Is there an institution, aspiration, or organization you are doubting?
Good.
Identify that doubt and try to locate the value behind it. What is the doubt calling you to? Once you have your answer, what are you going to do?
I'm going to take a picture of that.
Take a picture of that. Last week, the mind to do question, I don't remember what it was specifically, but I sat with it because if I'm going to send an email out to y'all and say, hey, invite you to do this, I'm going to do it. And so I remember what came up for me, what felt mine to do was to consciously put prayer energy around abundance. We had our, last week the theme was communal uncertainty, and the way that showed up at our leadership council meeting is we were looking at how our expenses are like $2,000 in the hole each month, that we have $2,000 less than we've been paying out. Okay. And I came back from that meeting not feeling good about that. I feel like I've done everything that I can to improve the finances of this organization. And so there was this question of, as we experience communal uncertainty around what are we going to do to fill this $2,000 gap in our income each month, I recognized what was mine to do was to pray on it. And what I've been doing each morning is some kind of conscious work around abundance. And despite the fact that it hasn't shown up specifically within this community, I noticed for me over the course of the week, abundance showed up in really, really big ways. People were like, hey, if I give you $100, will you do this? Or, hey, do you want me to send you some groceries? Or it was just, there was a fundraiser that I have been doing to bring some teen advisors to a conference, the Celebrating Our Soul conference in August. So that conference is happening in August, and it's in June. We're about to be, I'm looking at June tomorrow. So I need to book these flights, need these funds, need to make these reservations. And this week, a whole bunch of funds came and filled up that fundraiser where we've exceeded our fundraising goal. So thank you. It was really cool how abundance showed up in my life as a result of doing this Mind to Do practice last week. So I'm saying all that to say that as you get your email or as you've taken your pictures of the invitations over the course of this week, I love that we have this optional homework to go along with how you get to apply whatever it is that came up for you from showing up here on a Sunday. So with that in mind, what I would love to do, Miguel, you want to come up here and play some piano behind me? What I would love to do is for us to anchor this practice together in prayer. This practice that we're engaging in together right now in prayer. So I invite you all to take a moment to settle into your seats, bringing your conscious attention and awareness to the breath. Being reminded that the breath itself is the spiritual stuff of the universe. That each one of us is a holy being in action. That Spirit is breathing us here and now. Spirit is experiencing self-actualization as us here and now. And I am grateful that we have shown up to explore these questions of divine doubt and recognizing it as an act of love. Grateful that we bring our authentic selves to this spiritual community and knowing that our decision to empower each other to live happy, healthy, abundant lives is supported by the work that we do together in community on a Sunday and the work that we do individually, taking on some of this optional spiritual homework. I'm grateful to trust and know that our inner wisdom already has the answers to these questions. Our inner wisdom already knows what work is ours to do between now and next Sunday. And I'm grateful for our decision to be open to receive our own understanding of Spirit's expression as us, self-actualization through us and as us. And in gratitude, I invite us to embrace this prayer together by singing, "And so it is."
So it is. Good stuff.
All right, we get to sing Spirit pouring itself into us together. You ready for that?
Dance and smile in me, dance and smile into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit.
Thank you, Miguel. My
That likes to fall. All right. So this is time for our conscious giving. We have been cycling through sections of the How Do You Know Show Me Thanksgiving address, and this is the part where we thank the waters. That's where we are. So I invite you to speak this affirmative statement with me. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms. Water falls in rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the Spirit of water. Now our minds are one. And we get to give thanks to the Spirit of energy and water right here and now through some conscious financial giving. Mary Lee is coming along with the basket. If you don't have financial energy in the form of physical energy in your pocket, feel free to give some love vibes. And if you would like to contribute to the United Life Center, and again, don't have physical energy of money in your pocket or in the form of cash money, but do have some electronic money, we have other ways of giving. That QR code will take us to the donation page of our website, and the easiest way is the text to give option. You text whatever number amount that you want to give. I personally tithe 10% of my income generally back to this center. What we teach about tithing is that it is a conscious practice. We teach the practice of tithing 10% of your income, but we don't teach it in the sense of if you don't do this, bad things will happen. We teach it as an invitation to consciously participate in the flow of circulation. And so for us, many of us, what we do is we tithe a percentage of our income as it comes in. I get paid once a month, so I tithe on the first Sunday of the month, around the time that I get paid. That's how it works. And I tithe that number, the amount, text it to that phone number, and ask a bunch of questions one time and never ask those questions again. So it is the easiest way to go about doing it if you'd like to consciously give financially to this community. All right, so here are announcements, things that are coming up today. We've already got people on deck, raring, ready to go for this Love School book signing that's happening right after this at 2:30 with Reverend Dr. Donnell Cole. We'll be giving a whole lot of shout-outs about this book, and we'll continue to. Like I said, I'm confident I'm going to do a whole lot of Science of Mind and Love School quotes next week, so look out for that. But hang out with us. And is there anything else you want to say about this event happening today at 2:30? You want to come up and talk about it?
Ned, do you want to talk about it?
Ned, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
You want to get on the mic?
Oh, God.
Yes. Okay. All right. Here we come. Ned.
Here she comes. I don't really need a mic.
Well, yeah, my bad.
For our people online, she's new to this.
Hello, everybody. I am Nehetep Tavisert. It is such a great privilege to be here today And I'm always going to refer back to this wonderful presence, almighty, already, that was guided into my life and has been into my life, a part of my life, and he's been bringing other wonderful titans in my life, Dr. Damon. I mean, and now all of you.
Yeah.
And this is what Love School is. Love School is the curriculum.
Yeah.
Balance is the lesson. And Love School's going to be around a while, and we have other keys that are coming out. But Love School, it's time.
Yeah.
It is time. We ready for that Love School. And today we're going to pour out a lot of love. Willingly, we will address needs.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get what you need.
Yeah.
How you need it. We're not going to argue with you. And like you said, we're not going to debate with you. That's Love School.
Professor Ego would debate with you, though.
Like, willingly, he appears.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Professor Ego will debate with you because I love me. We got one of those in here. Professor Ego makes a cameo. We got I love me mug in the kitchen for him ready. All right. So Canon Church, one of our partners, one of our leadership council members is the founder and spiritual director of Canon Church, and they do a Wednesday outreach every single Wednesday.
Wow.
Held at Northwest 23rd in MacArthur. So if you'd like to bring food, they don't have like space for holding your donations. So if you want to contribute to the Wednesday outreach, show up. Oh, it says starting around 6. That really means 7. I'm just saying. This is me saying that really does mean 7.
Shout out to
and
Catholic
so
Church.
around 6 means 7.
Thank you.
I would say, if you've got some donations to give to people in need, clothing donations, water, cooked food, they post up a table out there, and people in the community know that they're there, so they go there looking for resources. So if you've got some abundance you'd like to share with the community, show up at Northwest 23rd and MacArthur around 7 with your donations, prepared to support the community in that way. Next Sunday, I just want to give you a heads up about this, and maybe I'll do this at the end of every month if I'm speaking. We'll see what happens. But next month, as I mentioned, our theme is Higher, Deeper Love, and we're going to be doing a Visioning Sunday. So we won't have, it'll be more of a meditative feel where we will participate in a community visioning. And this also came up at our leadership retreat as we talked about this concept of hosting a quarterly visioning with the community as part of a Sunday. And based on how the universe responds and my listening to where this should go and how it should be, this date, this I want to know what love is what stood out for me. So I will probably sing that song, especially because Mariah covered it, and I don't have a musician, and how am I going to pass up a Mariah cover? That next Sunday, and Mark Hanna is going to be doing sound baths throughout. So it's going to have more of a meditative vibe. We'll do a little less dancing. We won't start out getting physical like Olivia Newton-John. It's going to be chill. So that's what you can expect next week. And we'll be focusing on the theme of the Science of Mind, Chapter 6. Ernest Holmes called it man's relationship to the spiritual universe. I put a little human's relationship to the universe to make this more inclusive, and that's what you can expect for the month of June. Though I will not be speaking for the final Sunday, Jay Wright, our landlord here, is speaking, and 6 is his lucky number, and he's read the Science of Mind, so he's ready to lean into Chapter 6. So that's what we're going to be doing for June 6th, all in alignment. And he's going to be speaking on the Sunday I'm not here. Next Sunday, we will have our potluck. So after we have our meditative community visioning situation, then we get to eat. So feel free to bring some food with you next week to share with the community. And if you show up here and forgot about the food, don't worry about it. Enjoy it and hang out with us. Loaves and fishes, that's how it is. The Sunday after that is our Leadership Council meeting. Unless there's a major holiday or something going on in our schedules, Usually the Leadership Council meetings are held on the second Sunday of every month at 2:30. And our drag show is coming up super soon. Tickets are available online. If you get your tickets in advance, we are only requesting a $5 suggested donation for online tickets. If you choose to show up on the day of, tickets are $7, but as a nonprofit, we gotta let you in and we gotta feed you anyway. What kind of spiritual center will we be? To be like, oh, you don't have money for soul food? Get out of here. This is not how we operate. So, Juneteenth Drag Show is an all ages event. Everybody is welcome. Come get you some food, come enjoy the show, and it's a great way to honor Juneteenth as well. So, we are collaborating with Black Queer Oklahoma. This is the first time we've ever done that. So, the caliber of talent, the shows that Black Queer Oklahoma puts on are exceptional. This is definitely the one to go to if you've never been to our drag shows. And if you have, you know how fun they are. So June 19th, Juneteenth, that's what we got going on. We are finally on TikTok. We've got a TikTok video. We do have this like ghost TikTok channel. We have a lot of like ghost channels that I don't know who created, that's attached to an email that we can't access. I went down the rabbit hole with Yahoo, trying to get in, figure it out, did my best. The universe said, nah, you gotta let these ghost accounts stick around. So that's what it is, but it should be pretty easy to find, especially if you use this QR code. The top QR code goes directly to our TikTok, and the bottom one, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is how you do that as well. And we will be including these links in the weekly e-blast so that if you're not a QR code person, you'll get an opportunity to access it that way. You can always just look it up and you'll know the difference. A ghost account has no content on it, and the one that's ours has content on it. That's the difference. All right. So, like I said, we've been circling up. This is our last Sunday doing the peace song for a little bit until Miguel decides to bring it back into the rotation. So, yeah, I'm inviting you to come up, circle up, and let's sing the peace song together. All right, thank you for joining us at Spirit Uncuffed. Have the best week ever. If you have a prayer request, we've got some papers in the box treasure chest. Feel free to leave your prayer request there and send our guest book if you would like to be on our mailing list. Have the best week ever.
Best week ever.